Hello, everyone. So, before I get to the chat, I this is absolutely a filler episode. All right, for my streams. We are still waiting for our lovely flutes to arrive. They are on their way. They should arrive tomorrow. There's a crazy part of me that was like, I could just like receive them and then just like do a stream right after I received them. But I was like, but I don't end my last lesson until like 4 p.m. And I was like, do I really want to stream late on a Friday? And I was like, no. What we're going to do is a filler episode. And we're just going to call it a filler episode. Just call a spade a spade. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and pretend like this is not a filler episode, okay? So that's what today is. This was an idea that originally I wanted this to be a video, but I felt that it would work better as a live stream because then I could actually like sight read the music in front of you guys. But yeah, this idea has actually been swimming in my head for probably a few years now. Oh shoot, actually probably more than a few years because I hoarded this music back in university. So my university music library was getting rid of a bunch of music. And so they just kind of had a bunch of music out and you could just take it. It was free. So I was like, so I just wasn't even looking at what I was getting. I just picked up everything that was left because I don't think I was the first person there. So I just picked up whatever was left. So most of this stuff that I have in this pile is not stuff that I regularly see in flute repertoire. We're looking at anything ranging from, lesser known to obscure. So that's what we're working with today. I do have other music that I have hoarded that I bought online, but this set of music was all stuff that I actually hoarded and never really looked at it. So we're finally going to look at it. Anyway, now that I'm done the intro of this live stream, let's say hello to everyone. Hello, Henry. I don't know if you guys can see what Henry said actually before the stream started, but Henry said this is a little controversial, but depending on the show, filler better than actual plot sometimes. Thank you. I appreciate it. That is high praise. Thank you. Hello, Fern. How are you? Michael, Gary, Ryan, Jake, Deanna, Chris, Victor, Jen. Yeah. So, okay, here we go. So, by the way, Fern, can you just make sure that what you talk about stays within the topic in the chat? It just makes the chat a more friendly place for people to come in with, their little quips about what I'm doing. So I think one of you noticed that this is a Hanes logo. I'm sorry to disappoint, but I just bought the soft case that happens to be a Hanes soft case, but I don't actually own a Hanes. This is actually my own flute. This is a Brannon. If you guys want to know what it is this, if my bot wakes up. I think my bot is awake though. There you go. So that's the specs of my flute. That's what's in this case here. But yeah. So yeah, Henry was right that this is just the outer case for my Brannon. That's right. That's right. Okay. Show you guys the shiny. I'll show you the shiny. All right. So I realized that I don't actually show off my own flute very often. I think the last time I really showed it off was when I talked about getting my C-foot joint. So here we go. That's the beauty. Just gonna make sure this thing, this poor camera has so much trouble focusing on shiny things. And the fortunate or unfortunate, depending on how you look at it, thing about flutes is that they're very shiny. So, all right. No more beef with joy. I like that you remember that. Fern, I'm going to give you another warning. Can you please make sure that what you're talking about actually is along with what everyone is saying here. What you're saying right now is all very random. So if you could please stay on topic. That is one of the chat rules. So if I have to give you another warning, after that third time you're out, all right? Okay, so this is my flute. I will scooch outward a bit. There. Sorry for the mess on the sides, guys. There. See, my C-foot joint now fits in the frame. There you go. In terms of the specs, if you guys have been curious about, I guess the updated specs is 10 karat rose gold tubing for the body and the foot joint, sterling silver mechanism. It's the Broger pinless mechanism. Broger mechanic, I believe it's called. And then we do not have split E. There's no split E, but there is a C sharp trill. D sharp roll. No more D sharp roller. No more D sharp roller. This C-foot joint does not have a D sharp roller. So there's no more D sharp roller and there's no more gizmo because this is a C-foot joint. And then we have, I had a long time ago had a technician install a piece of cork on the C key to make it taller, and thus my finger doesn't have to squeeze down as far. And then we have a 14 karat Monka with a Mopani wood lip plate, but the riser is 14K as well. Hello, Nicholas. How are you? Okay, great. So I think those are the specs now of my flute. Of my I guess C-foot joint is the other spec. So that's what we're working with. Oh, I guess silver rings. I guess I need to talk about that now that there are silver rings on this flute as well, because apparently it makes a difference. It didn't even occur to me until our last review that the silver rings and like the tone holes, my tone holes are soldered silver as well. So I guess that makes a difference now. I didn't realize that it made a difference until our last stream. In our last stream, we tried a flute. I believe it was the Powell. It was the Powell, right? So I think it was the silver Powell with, it was a Powell or a Burkhart. I can't remember which one it was, but one of them was silver tubing with gold rings and soldered tone holes. So it was the Burkhart. Okay, thank you, Nicholas. Thank you. Also, how are you doing? So yes, the Burkhart 998 with the Powell custom was vanilla. That is the best description of standard specs is vanilla. But yeah, the Burkhart was the one with the 14 karat tone holes and rings, which so the big discovery last time was that with the rings and the tone holes being a different metal, my experience is that the feeling of the flute plays more like the main metal that is used for the tubing. So feeling wise, it feels like the main metal. But when you listen to it, hearing wise, it's almost like there's this aura of the other metal. So I would say that is absolutely how I would describe what my flute here feels and sounds like. So it feels like playing a fully gold flute. Like it has that mellow feel when you play it. So very circular airstream, just very, very rounded. But like when you listen to it, it has a little bit of that silver ring to it. So whereas I feel like when, for example, we pop on like a silver Lafrique onto this thing. So maybe it's just because it's so much more silver. I kind of feel like it changes the shape that I, like kind of like the shape of the airstream more so takes on a more silvery kind of airstream shape. So yeah, like with it just being the tone holes and the rings though, it just kind of creates this little aura in terms of what you're hearing of like the other metal, of whatever the metal is of the rings and the tone holes. So I think that's pretty cool because some people want that, like me. Like I want to have like that aura of silver. Like I want it to ring and to be really like bright if I want it to be. But feeling wise, I definitely prefer the feeling of a gold flute. So if you're the opposite, that's also cool. That maybe you prefer the feeling of a silver flute, but you want a little bit of that roundness, mellowness from gold without it feeling like gold, then you might really want to consider getting gold rings and tone holes. So it's interesting. So is it best of both worlds for me? Jen is asking. Yes, it is. And it's a complete happy accident because the real reason why I got silver rings, soldered tone holes, and mechanism is because it was cheaper than getting it all in gold. I'm not even joking, guys. I basically built the cheapest or asked for a custom order of the cheapest combination that I could get where the main tubing was still gold. I went for the absolute cheapest combo. But it just so happens that that is exactly what I want. Like when I look at my flute now I'm like, well, of course I really prefer this because I like the feel of gold. I still want to be able to access that kind of ringy quality of silver when I want to. I also want to access a more woody quality, hence the wooden lip plate. But with the 14K riser, so with the 14K riser, I can absolutely still dig into that metal sound if I want to. So yeah, my flute is very much a chameleon, like me. It's like, to me, this combo is the most comfortable and flexible. So this is what I like. It was cheaper. So wood flute is not my fancy, not a full wood flute, no. Do I enjoy playing a wood flute? Absolutely. But I don't play enough music on the regular to justify a full wood flute. However, I will say that I'm absolutely drawn to the wood flutes. Anytime I see them at a festival or a convention, like they actually catch my eye first than all the metal flutes. So, you know, if I had all the money in the world, I think I probably would buy a whole wood flute just for the luxury of it. But I cannot actually justify that cost. So, you know. Oh, Powell wood flute with 14K Mac. That sounds delightful. Oh my gosh. So you get that aura. I'm guessing you get a little bit of an aura of like kind of like muted gold with the wood. Oh, that sounds amazing. Absolutely amazing. Oh no, Henry, you ordered a flute in October from an Osaka-based music store. Oh, if you know, you know. I don't know, so I don't know. But they never sent the maker the money. Oh, and they haven't been able to purchase the materials yet. I'm so sorry. Oh, that sucks. Man, I hope that is resolved soon. Hey, Deanna, did I say hello to you earlier? You're improving. Making a point to at least work on fingering every day. Great. Excellent. I like it. Okay, let me catch up with the chat. You're gonna cancel the order later today. Probably best if you do that. It sounds like it's a little messier than intended, and this might be the cleanest way to go about it. Oh shoot! Oh shoot! Nicholas knows who. Oh, there's some. Spicy. Okay. When it comes to these types of potentially not as grand reviews of places, I'm personally of the opinion that I just kind of ignore it. We're not here to bash people, okay? And you know, any company has absolutely the opportunity to turn things around. You know, so like, you know, that's why I don't like to bash people. It's one of the reasons why, you know, I've hit it off so well with the Flute Center, because the Flute Center are actually the people who are vetting instruments for me. So I don't have to make the call of whether or not an instrument is good, because I already know that they've already been vetted by the Flute Center. But you know, we're not talking about good or bad instruments in this particular case, but you know, in the same vein that I don't want to like give a judgment call over a company. You know, I don't want to, you know, like, I like that you guys are not naming names, so very good. Yeah, this specific experience was not good. Yeah, you know, sometimes even the best of businesses can just have a situation that for some reason went hilariously wrong. And you know, that is just the human experience. But yeah, I do believe that, you know, your move to just cancel it before it even begins is probably the cleaner, easier way to do things. So yeah, follow up if you don't get your flute on time. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I did not know that Woodify is a new product. Or I might know. I think I might have known about it before everyone else did. Always. Did I do the Snape voice? Okay. Anyway, there you go. There's my flute. Let's head back to this screen so we can start looking at all the music that I hoarded years ago. Yeah, we're talking a long time ago. So, you know what? We're just gonna say I'm a little bit tired of hiding how old I am. So you guys can do the math yourself, okay? I graduated from university in 2011, and I believe this music has been with me since 2011. I think it was my last year there. So it's been a little bit embarrassingly long that I haven't looked at this music. So if you guys have hoarded music for, you know, less amount of time than I have for this, you're good. Okay? You've got me to be your worst hoarder. Fern, this is your second warning. Once you get to your third, you're out. All right? Yeah. Okay. So Donna, your magic flute is a gold bonded pearl with Monka wood head joint, Mopani, and a gold tube and riser. What an amazing and unique tone. Oh, I can imagine. You also own a Kotato bass. I've heard of Kotato. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but I've heard of them. I believe they were the ones who came out with a buzzing type of head joint, right? Am I correct? Oh, wow, what a lovely combo. Ooh, yes. Okay, but let's take a look at some music here. Here we go. Here's the pile. We'll start from the top. So we've got Gobert, Troisième Sonata. I cannot speak French. But I think I've actually heard this one because like when I hum it in my head, I'm like, I feel like I've heard a, you know, like I've heard a recording of this before. I believe, if you can see from this, I believe I only have the flute and piano part. So I don't actually have just the flute part. So I'm actually going to look this up online and sight read it for you guys. Okay, so yep, it is on IMSLP. Yeah, and it's actually the exact same edition. So this is perfect. It's the exact same edition. So if you guys look up, let me here. So just so you guys know what I'm playing right now, I'm gonna put it in the chat. So this is Flute Sonata number 3 by Philippe Gobert. I am slippery. I am SLP. Yeah. Yeah, you guys already are like, you've already got it in the chat, but I'm just going to pin it for anyone who wants to follow along. So here, I'm going to pin that and you guys can follow along. So just look that up on IMSLP and you'll find it. Okay, let's do this. Okay. Oh, let's warm up a bit. I haven't played yet today. No, I did. I played for a student, but I don't really count that as a whole ton of playing. So we're gonna do a little bit of warm up. Okay. Okay. Am I playing an alto flute? Thank you. I appreciate it. So I just saw someone on Instagram ask me what my piccolo was, because they're like, that's a lot longer than I, you know, than most piccolos. So I still have yet to answer that person on Instagram, but yeah. I was joking with Nicholas that I just looked like I was playing a flute with my last piccolo cover, which, by the way, I uploaded on, was it like Monday or something like that? So that's over on my Just Another like JAF video game covers channel if you guys want to go and check it out. But yeah, obviously an alto piccolo. Okay, anyway, let me warm up a bit more. You know, I believe Guo actually has an alto piccolo. I believe it's called like the treble G piccolo. But it is actually a piccolo, like an alto flute version of a piccolo. So it plays a fourth down. And apparently it's like amazing. Like it truly feels like an in between. And I would really love to give that a proper review. Yeah, I don't think I've had the opportunity yet to try it. Hey Sean, how are you? Yeah, an alto piccolo is just a flute in G. Yes, basically it's a flute in G. So it's a true in between. Like the size is a true in between. But I think it looks more like a piccolo because it's that much shorter. Yeah. E flat flute. So E flat flute does exist, right? Isn't there, right? I've tried the flute d'amore, right? The one that's keyed in B flat. Oh, that one messed with my head. Ooh. Yeah. So yeah, okay, I was right. So yeah, Buffy is right. So E flat flute absolutely does exist. Yeah. They're expensive used, hard to find. Yep. Yeah, that's probably why I haven't encountered one yet. Yeah, it does exist. Yeah, but they're super rare, right? Because like no one makes them anymore. The d'amore is between altos. You're right, it is. It's right in between, isn't it? Oh gosh. The d'amore is in A or B flat. Okay, I think I tried the one in B flat. That's the one I tried at Flute Center. Yeah, that one just messed with my head. It just oh, it was so weird. Oh, okay. it's even more forward than I'm still not used to how forward that high G is with the C foot, because with the B foot it's tucked back in a little, but on the C foot, ooh, that high G is just way out. So here we go again. There it is. You hear how it's clear now? And it's because I'm really shoving that air bubble as far forward as possible. Hey, Einstein, how are you doing? The tape on the lip riser exercise helped you out a ton. The one from the Magical Flutist? Amazing. By the way, guys, I totally had a student do the thing that Katri recommended, which was to get, Katri wanted this to happen, but another of my students suggested that if you get the Magical Flutist, in North America, you'll notice that there's no spiral bound version of it, but she gives you enough margins for you to go to Staples or whichever place is near you that will spiral bind things for you, and they can just chop the binding off and spiral bind it. I had a student show me today that they got it done. They got it done for $5, and it looks delightful. So I am waiting to pass by Staples to get it done for myself too. So just as a quick tip to you guys, if you guys end up buying the Magical Flutist by Katri, highly recommend that you guys go and get it spiral bound. The only reason why it doesn't come out spiral bound for you to purchase right off the bat is because there's some weird international publishing thing that makes it impossible for her to publish it spiral bound. So if you are in the European market though, I believe there is a spiral bound version. So, but yeah, only if you're in North America, just go and get a spiral bound yourself for $5. Okay, anyway, I feel like I'm pretty warmed up now, so we're gonna give this a go. I believe this goes da 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 dee da 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 dee da da dee da da dee da ba da 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 ba da 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 ba da 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 ba da 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 da, something like that. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2. Is it like that? I feel like that's a bit fast. I'm doing the 16th notes parts, and I'm that's pretty fast. Is it more like that? Slower? I'm trying to not listen to it so that you guys can know that it's a true sight read. Does that sound right to you guys? Do you guys love my singing? Beautiful. Thank you. Okay, I'll try it, and you guys can let me know if you think I'm going too fast or too slow. Okay, it's interactive. Okay, interactive. What do you guys think? I feel like that feels good, but I am unsure if that's even the correct tempo. Yeah? Okay, that was straight sight reading. All right, please do not use these sight reading streams, by the way. If anyone's listening to this and being like, yes, I am going to learn this piece that Joanna is playing, please keep in mind I am sight reading, so there will be wrong notes, wrong rhythms. I might go at the wrong tempo. This is really me just kind of like figuring out and having fun. I just like a challenge every now and then. So let's keep going. Rogue, please, no. Misinformation. That is misinformation. Joe makes mistakes. Joe plays wrong notes. And I don't get to decide what are the correct notes. Oh my gosh. Okay. Is that a glissando? Is that a glissando? Okay. I'm absolutely arbitrarily making a decision right now, though. But that squiggly that I see on page 2, the top of page 2, I think that's a glissando, but I'm not sure. Too expressive. There I go, arbitrarily deciding notes. This is so pretty. It's very also like the harmony and like the keys go in like really interesting directions. Yo, I wish I studied this in university. Oh man, this is spicy. You know, like I feel like the progressions are like way spicier than the Gobert, whatever Gobert piece is in the French flute music book. Like this is spicy. I like this. Da 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 dee. Da 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 dee. Da 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 dee. No. Dee da 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 dee da 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 da dee dee da da dee da da dee da da. Oh, okay. Da 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 dee da 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 dee da 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 dee da da dee da 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 dee da da da. Okay, got it. Okay, rewind. Cool. Okay, we need to use B flat lever. chromaticism is spicy. Samar, hello. Welcome. It is a tricky passage. This is a very tricky passage. I think like if I were to actually practice this, I would absolutely need to figure out where I can use thumb B flat, where I need to get off of thumb B flat, where to use B flat lever, because I can already kind of feel in some places it doesn't really make sense. We're gonna try back it up a bit. I think I figured out what I want to do there now. If you're wondering how I read that, practice your arpeggios. Okay. Oh gosh. Da 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 da. Okay, I think there is some pushy-pulliness going on in there. That I would absolutely need to know what the piano is actually doing in order to do that part correctly. All right. Okay. So a little bit more animated coming up. Woo! Okay, let's do this. Oh, piano. No A flat. One more time. Used to where that high A wants to sit. I think it's still way more forward than I think it needs to be, but I'm not used to it actually still on this C foot. Here. You hear that? Like that's a lot clearer, and that's because I like shoved it forward. Okay. we shall keep going, shall we? Hey, Saturday, how are you? Oh, did I play a D sharp somewhere? Henry, I can see that you shouted out a D natural. Yeah, let's go back. Oh. So not used to where that A wants to sit, but that sounded really sweet. But it was like in a spot where I have trained my brain to be like, that will not come out there. Because it's been sort of like drilled into my brain that I shouldn't go that forward on that note. Hello, Kwan. Hello, Lippity. How are you two doing? Welcome. This is me sight reading something that I hoarded back in 2011. So apparently I hoarded Flute Sonata number 3 by Gobert. And I just have never looked at it. And as it turns out, it is spicy. Wow. This is very spicy. I kind of wish I studied this back then. Okay, let's keep going. Yeah, there was an F sharp. Was that kind of close? I think I needed to take the end bit a little bit faster. Like, I think those triplet 16ths need to go a little faster. Yeah. I get it. It's a floofified version of the main theme, because the main theme should be so. Okay, I get it. It's a floofified version of the main theme. If I had studied it back then, I wouldn't be playing it for the first time on my current Beauty of a Flute. I would be playing the part that would would have been the same as the body joint. I absolutely have a Frankenflute now. So if I had studied this back then, I would have had the B-foot joint and my old head joint. Which I don't think I would have as glorious of a time with it. Yeah, it's just the body. Like, just the body with, like, the foot and the head is different now. Okay, so if we keep going, oh man, guys, at this rate, we are not getting through this, this pile, but whatever, we're just having fun. So, an intermed pastoral. So, très modéré, so modere, so modere, so like very moderate. They're very pastoral, like, yep. No. Ooh. Oh, that goes fast. So. Because I'm looking at the fast notes and I'm like, ooh, those go really fast. So because we've got nonettes in here. Nonettes? Non-tet? It is nonette, right? No. Triplet. Sextuplet. Septuplet. Octuplet. Non-tuplet. Is it non-tuplet? Is that what it is? Okay, well, you know what? We're going to go at about this speed because then I can actually do the non-tuplets. Okay, here we go. Some of the staff lines. Some of the staff lines are a little blurry. Okay. Also, I'm just getting my Bluetooth pedal out. Okay. it's an octuplet, then a non-tuplet, a 9-tuplet, and then an octuplet. Oh my gosh, why? Okay. 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 Okay, that's mean. Because you can't have your B flat thumb down for the high G flat. I think I just have to use long B flat. Is that it? Apple is asking if it's a C foot. It absolutely is. If you want, I just got it at the beginning of this year. So if you want to see me messing around with it, I do have a stream a few streams back with me messing around with it. It has absolutely made my life a lot easier, but I do have to get used to it. So there's a few things that I've noticed that it has done to my flute playing that I've had to adjust to, which I do plan on making a video on sometime. But there's just some things that I need to verify that I'm not crazy before I talk about it in a video. So, okay. Again. We're gonna call that good. We're gonna keep going. Okay. That is an exercise in smooth dynamics. You have to kind of like change your vowel to like move the air bubble up and down, so it has that really nice swooping effect. All right. it seems like there might have been a typo here. Okay, let's check the piano part, see if it's any different. Yeah, there was a typo, and this person corrected it. Okay, cool. The ending is very video game-esque, like fantasy setting. Is it not? Like it has that sort of very old world sound, actually. Oh, right, because it's the pastoral, right? So because it is a pastoral type tune, it's gonna have that countryside or old world sound to it. Oh, that's nice. Oh, I would have loved this when I was in university. Man, I mean, I love it now, but I think I would have really loved like just practicing it. It's very like fantasy kind of, OST sort of sound. Mateo, hello. How are you? Okay, we're gonna try the finale here. So allegretto, joyous. Okay. Also, I am absolutely leaking out the end here. Let me find my my flute flag. There it is. Okay. So I'm gonna just how fast are we talking here? Let's look at the fastest notes. I think somewhere around there might be good. So that's a sextuplet that we have to put in there. If you can sing it, you can play it. Okay, all right. Okay. Let's try that. Let's try that and see what we think. Facts though. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Oh, that's cute. I'm a fan. There is a wrong note in there. We're just in A major here. Got it. Okay. key change. Okay, okay. Excuse me? Is that a 5/2? Excuse me? Not even written with a 5 underneath? Excuse me? Okay. Okay. We were just guessing there. Okay? We keep going. So a little, are we going, we're gonna guess. It says expressive here, okay? So we're gonna be expressive, okay? I hope you're doing well. This is just me sight reading music that I hoarded in 2011. Anyway, let's keep going. I hope it's cute, so I'm gonna assume I did it mostly correct. Oh, too far. Too fast on the quintuplet, I think. Oh, no B flats. I got way too slow, guys. I think I got way too slow. Okay, we're gonna go back a bit. All right. 5 sharps, B major. We're in B major. Okay. There we go. Now it's not modal. Okay. Okay. Ooh. This is spicy. Ooh. It also is doing that thing where it's like jumping through a bunch of different keys, changing the color palette. It's like, it's really cool. Oh, pianissimo. There we go. Okay. Okay. Notes. Yes, maybe, I think. Okay. That's supposed to be way more triumphant at the end, but I'm just like reading the notes. Okay, my conclusion from this is that I absolutely would have loved to study this back in university. Yeah. Okay, at least it sounded familiar to you, Amir. Oh. At least it sounded familiar to you. I hope that's what you're talking about, that what I was playing sounded familiar. All right, see you later, Deanna. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, for anyone who's just kind of like dropping in, dropping out, totally fine. The reason why these streams are so long is so you guys can catch it live sometimes, you know. Okay, yes, I absolutely would have loved studying this piece back in university. Like I think like to me this would have posed such like an interesting kind of like twist on French music. Like it's spicier in my opinion than the French flute music book, at least. Like, because when I think of French flute music for the like French flute music, that is, I think of that book, you know, the book of the French music by flute music by French composers. And this to me sounds spicier. Like, you know, kind of like sets up expectations and then dashes them, changes keys everywhere. You know, so you're working with a lot of different like color palettes. I love it. So that is a fantastic yes. Now the next one I have here is La Flute de Pan. Now, the thing is, I have absolutely played some of this before. 100% I played this before, like on my own. I never actually studied it with a teacher, but I have played this before. So since we have many other pieces in here, I'm going to skip to the next one that I definitely haven't sight read before. So the next one is Walter Piston, Sonata for Flute and Piano. Okay, so this one I have the music for. I think what I'm going to do is put it on my music stand. I don't know if this is available for you guys. Flute Sonata. It is on YouTube. Yeah. It is on YouTube if you guys wanted to take a look with the sheet music. So I will let me write this in now. So this is Sonata for Flute and Piano by Walter Piston. So I will let me pin this one now. Replace pinned message. Okay, so that's the one we're on now. I'm just giving you the title so you guys can just copy and paste it. And if you want to find the music. So I am going to plop my music stand here now so I can read this off of actual music, and you guys can kind of see it in my little second camera. That's perfect. Okay, so yes, we have tempo markings, so I can approximate this now. Okay, it's always a little easier to sight read it when there's this sort of like they actually write in the tempo marking. Okay, well, let's give this a go. Let's see, 1,000, 2,000. So a little faster than that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I do have my phone here. Let me just get it from here. Where is my metronome? There it is. Okay, so we're going at 69. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Da, 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 da. It's just so you guys can hear it. Bup, bup, bup. Be da dee, be da da dee da dee da, ba dee da da da, da dee da da dee da dee da dee da da. Oh gosh. Dee da 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 da. Oh my god, I think I actually read that correctly. Dee da 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 dee da dee da. Dee da 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 dee da. Okay. Okay. We're gonna have, I can foresee myself having to like start and stop to really figure out some of these rhythms, but we will try our best. We will try our best. Okay. No need for my music pedal. I'm just gonna turn that off and save some battery. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Did I get that right? Oh, I did. Oh, okay. Very spicy. He puts in a 4/4 there in the middle of a 6/4, but you're counting in dotted halves. So you have to suddenly switch to counting in quarters. That was pretty spicy. That was pretty spicy. Too long. Oh, okay. And then piano picks up. No. No. Back again. Okay, and then we. Okay, so I think it's showing the piano part. Is that what's happening? I'm just checking the piano part. Is that what's happening? All right, where is this? Oh, what? Oh, got it. Right, so I hold that low E, and then piano has a solo for a few bars. Got it. So they wrote in the solo here. Okay, understood. Okay, and then we pick it. Oh. Okay, so the moment I hit the 6/4, it turns into we're going at quarter note equals 168. Okay. 168 is. Oh, that's not too much faster. Yeah, but I guess maybe now we need to start thinking more in quarters. Oh, okay. I really need to like get into the feel of this rhythm and the articulation combo. Okay. Okay. Oh. Whew. All right. All right. How are you guys doing? Yes, I should totally take a drink of water. All right. See you in a bit, Nicholas. Spooky vibes from this piece. I agree. I absolutely agree. This. I think I could have gotten into this too. You know, like it kind of sounds off the beaten path a little bit, right? Okay, let's keep going. Yeah, it's very off the beaten path. It's like not what I like. None of this is anything that I'm expecting. So I like if I had to actually like perform this, I would absolutely need to kind of like get into the groove. Like I can kind of feel I'm not in the groove right now. We're gonna try that again. I am pretty darn certain I still have some wrong notes in there, because it's just like I think like my brain is still not like also like computing exactly what like tonally what I'm supposed to be listening for. Fun, Michael, fun. All right, have a wonderful night. Amir, thank you so much for joining, dropping in and saying hi. Hope you've been well. Okay, so oh, this next bit has some like low stuff. Okay. So where I'm actually trading off with the piano. So it should have this kind of do 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 kind of sound. Feeling that if I were to actually study this, I would have to do a little bit of the reverse engineering that I did in the Iber. So the Iber also kind of had this sort of meandering quality to it that I like melodically wasn't really understanding until I actually went and sort of like reverse engineered it, and I was like, where are we going, like theoretically, like analytically, where is the melody going? What key are we in? Are we transitioning to another key? Why does this note exist? So I think I would have to do this here just to like better understand the flow, because I can hear that I'm like, sometimes I get a bit of the flow and then I don't, and it's kind of like, you know, on and off, you know? So. Oh, I think it needed to go a lot faster. So I think it has to have sort of this like slinking quality. Well, let's try it again. Oh god. Okay. Woo. Woo. Okay. Oh my. Okay. So interesting. Okay. 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 Okay, and then piano solo, right? Unclear. No, I think I play that part. Let me see. Yeah, I play that part. Okay, okay. Ooh, okay. Am I going too high? A, C, E. I am. Okay. I think. Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. I think, if I am not incorrect, I think it's not quite 12 tone, but it has the same kind of meandering, tonally meandering quality as like Carl Gaylord. So what seems to be more like more emphasized here are the rhythms. So there's like specific rhythmic motifs that come back, and the use of like interval motifs, if that makes sense. So there is sort of a melodic motif, but like you can sort of put it on different notes. So it's more so the interval leaping. Like I noticed that it started to get easier once I started to think of it less as which key am I in, and more of like it's more 12 tone theory. So it's more like you're thinking of it very chromatically, and you're thinking of it in terms of interval shapes. You know, like what I mean by interval shapes is that like there's like a motif that's sort of like where, you know, it's a certain sequence of intervals, ascending and descending. It kind of depends on what the composer feels like, but there's like an interval sequence motif. That's what I notice. Is like as soon as I started to think of it as like not in terms of keys, but in terms of intervals, it made it a lot easier to read. So I had to sort of switch my head into thinking more like how I would interpret Carl Gaellert, his caprices. So there was one that a long time ago I memorized on camera for you guys, and it had kind of the similar vibe where I had to analyze all of the intervals, like how, like, and find all the shapes and the motifs and the general shape, see how he sets up expectations and then dashes them. So like if I were to study this, I think I would absolutely have to like look at it from that standpoint. So yeah, for anyone who's studying this, at least that's where I would start. I would start with analyzing how the what his interval sequences are, you know? Yeah, because at first I was confusing myself like heck because I was trying to find a certain key that I was in. But no, you're not, as far as I can tell, you're not in any key. So that's why it has that kind of like tonally meandering quality. But if you are like, if you've analyzed this and you know like what these little interval sequences are, you can play them with a lot more intentionality. And when you play it with that intentionality, it comes across a lot more convincing to the listener. So you guys listening to me right now, it probably sounded like a run-on mess, you know? And because it is, like in my head, I was still trying to figure out what the heck is going on. But by the time I got to the end of the first movement, I was like, oh, okay, I'm kind of getting it now. Like I get that we're not in a key. I should have gotten that from the beginning, because if you look at all three movements, there is no key signature. And there are just sharps and flats all over the place. That usually is a sign that you're playing music that is not like diatonic, not diatonically based. And especially if it's music that is written in this era. So this was written in 1933. So in like, this is like very quintessential like 20th century music, where in my experience of 20th century music, at least written for the flute, tends to go in kind of two very generalized camps. And I'm saying very generalized because clearly there are pieces that were written in the 20th century that don't fall into either of these camps. But I would say that the majority of music fall into two camps. One is what I call very experimental, and then the other is like neo old music. So neo-baroque or neo-romantic or neoclassical, you know? So like you kind of have these two camps where, you know, like, and they existed at the same time. And even now they actually exist at the same time. You actually still have a lot of experimental music these days. I find that the experimental music these days tends to be even wilder, because at least this and Carl Gaellert still kind of utilizes very, I think, traditional classical flute techniques. So, you know, like I'm not even seeing any like flutter tonguing or anything like extended techniques in here. Like I'm not, yeah, I don't see any extended technique in here. But what I will say is that harmonically, like theoretically, this is very experimental. Yeah, I think that it is maybe 12 tone, I think. Oh, congratulations, Sean. Happy wedding anniversary. That's so sweet. And you got the Magical Flutist book. Isn't it a great book? It's such a great book. Yeah, right? Right, Nicholas? So you've been there, you played all the crazy stuff in New Music Ensemble. Yeah. So like these days, experimental music sounds experimental, if that makes sense. Like it's like a whole bunch of extended techniques. You're like doing wild, crazy things into the flute. I still need to tell you guys about the time that I actually sounded like a evil banshee. doing a recording a piece of new music for a composer. So yeah, that was super fun. I did it in the midst of I believe John going through his skin issues. And so like I just didn't have the time and the energy to put together a video for you guys about my experience, but I think I might do it anyway, even though it's been a while now, because I think that you guys might enjoy hearing about my experience. And I actually recorded my practice sessions, so I think that might be just interesting for you guys to see how I did it, how I approached it. But yeah, this is very cool, and I'm already seeing I spent so long on this. I kind of want to get to other pieces, but you know what, at least I did the first movement of the piston, the Walter piston. I haven't actually heard this. I don't know why. I've known about the Walter piston sonata for a very long time, but and I've even owned it for a really long time, but like I just never really came across listening to it. So who doesn't want to be an evil banshee? I agree. It was so fun. It's very fun. Like I don't want to spoil it for you guys because I do want to talk about it and have it be like a fun experience for you guys to like hear about my experience. But yeah, like the way that I will describe it is that like I recorded it in here, and I absolutely had to look and sound like an evil banshee doing it. Just like screaming, and like like when you go to a like, I don't know how many of you guys, like Nicholas clearly has, but like I don't know how many of you guys have been to sort of like new music, super artsy performance where you feel like, I'm sorry to say it this way, but you feel like you're on an acid trip, like watching, like the performers like might be, playing traditional instruments like this, but doing very untraditional things, acting, screaming, grunting, doing all the, things that make you cringe, do you know what I mean? Like makes you cringe and you're like, what the hell are they doing? That was what I did. And I can tell you that as a person watching, it makes me deeply uncomfortable. Like if I were to watch a very artistic performance like that, I am deeply uncomfortable. But I love being the performer. It's really fun to be a complete crackhead. Like it's really fun to just go completely off the rails. Like there's something very, I don't know, liberating, Yeah. Definitely necessary to grow as a musician, Nicholas is saying. Yeah, you've played something similar by one of the student composers. Yeah. I feel like it's the wild noises. Yeah. And okay, here's the thing is that it's not for everyone. Okay, it really is not for everyone. But I would say that if you wanted to become a very like well-educated professional musician. So, and I say this because I don't think that it is necessary if you're like, a serious hobbyist or something like that. But if you're looking to turn this into a career, I do think that you need to dabble. I do think that you need to have that experience of playing music like this. It doesn't mean that it has to become your thing, not at all. But if given the chance, I think it would be good for people to dabble. Because I think it just sort of makes you realize that you can let go and that you can, break out of kind of the traditional box of how to play the flute. It sort of opens your eyes as to why the rules exist. Why would you break them? Why would you not break them? When do you break them versus when you don't break them? And because you know the why, and you can really like understand and feel and experience the why of why traditional music exists the way it does, weirdly, it actually helps you play traditional music, traditional as in like classical, romantic, baroque type of music, or like, like the neoclassical, neo-romantic stuff. It makes you understand better like how that music flows, how that music, feels. So you play it a lot better actually after you've broken all the rules. Yeah. Yeah, it's not for everyone. I completely get it, and I completely understand. And Saturday just said here that Flute Center posted a video of an avant-garde contrabass performance on the flute forum recently, and the pearl clutching. Yeah, it's not everyone's cup of tea. And here's the thing. What I would love for everyone to understand is that not all kinds of music is for everyone, but it doesn't mean we have to demonize it. Even though the piece of music might be about demons, but we don't have to demonize the music, okay? Like, just because we don't like it, it doesn't mean that it hasn't served a great purpose in exploring how music works, exploring what music is, why it is. Like this can be someone else's way of furthering their journey with music. And I don't believe that we should poo-poo other people's experience of music, So, yes, as Just Another Flute Guy here is saying, when you are forced to play music like this, it does help you learn how to play with intentionality. And playing with intentionality makes you convincing to your audience. So being convincing is definitely a part of our job as a musician, and playing things we don't like. Yes. So I heard a wonderful, wonderful explanation of what it means to be in that world of voice actor, because I follow a lot of voice actors because it's sort of it's my fun thing that I like to, I like to follow what voice actors are doing, especially video game voice actors. And one of them, I am so sorry to say that I cannot remember which voice actor this was, but it was a voice actor in Genshin Impact. And they mentioned that what you have to realize as a voice actor, and I will say as a musician, this is the way it is too, you are not the director. You are not the composer. You are the paintbrush by which the composer paints the picture. So, that's why it is important to get into the composer's shoes, but at the end of the day, you are not the composer. So like it's, I think once we realize that we are the paintbrush, right? We are the tool to create this picture, right? Once we understand our role better, then, we can make better art. Now, if you find out that you don't like being the tool, that's fine. Completely fine. That just means that when you look for work or when you look for what to do, something that fulfills you, you want to find something that aligns with your ideal type of music. And you want to find work that will allow you to be the creator instead of just the tool. So that's what's happened to me. That's why I do this for my job. That's why I teach, and that's why I review flutes. That's why I create content, because at the end of the day, I realize that as much as I am a musician, I love to be the creator. So I am doing things now that I get to create, right? It's just that I get to play the flute too while I do it. So we are actors and actresses. That's exactly it. So when you're an actor, when you're a musician, when you are, voice actor, etc., like we are the paintbrushes. Yeah, we don't always get to play everything we like to play all the time. Exactly. Because you are the tool. You are like, I know that for some people, they will feel like that is such a downgrade. But the thing is, if you feel that that is a downgrade, that means that this is not the job for you, right? Because there is so much joy and there is so much, I don't know, just like it stretches your kind of emotional and kind of almost like mental bounds a little bit. You know, it like stretches you out when you do something that is like, when you do something artistically that is like uncomfortable to you, you know? And once you've like stretched out like that, you actually understand better the music that you do like to play. So yeah, that's true. We do, however, get to work with composers and tell them what works and doesn't work. But we have to be flexible and stretch our abilities. Exactly. So you'll find that like that's exactly what happened when I was working with that composer for the Evil Banshee song. We did that type of thing where it was like, this is what's possible. You want this, I'm going to see what I can come up with that will be like exactly what you want. Or if I can't do exactly what you want, I will look up something and try something and find something that is as close as possible to what you want, you know? And then like you can sort of like trade ideas like that. So you can have a hand in the creation as well, but you know, ultimately you're not like the mastermind behind the piece. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, all that just from my impression of this piece, that this is experimental music. I would actually loop this in with the kind of experimental music kind of category, just because I'm realizing that like sequences of intervals is really what's the big thing here in this piece. And personally, I really love it. I kind of wish I had more time to truly like analyze it and really like get to know it properly, because I think that I could probably do it so much more justice by playing it with really good intentionality. So anyway, that's my impression of the Walter Piston. Man, at this rate, we're only going to play 3 pieces, guys. Okay, let's look here. So this one I have just never heard of in my life. And have you guys heard of this? This is Vern Reynolds' Sonata for Flute and Piano. I have seriously never heard of this before. But let me know if you guys have heard of this. I have no idea what we're working with here. So let's do the same thing. We're going to read the first movement and see what we think. Now, I'm noticing that all of these are stamped with a stamp that says from the library of a name. So I wonder if this person just really liked this type of music. That's what I'm thinking. If you guys want to explore someone's library, a great way to do it is to go on eBay and see who might be selling a box of flute sheet music. So a lot of people will just sell boxes of their old sheet music. You know, it could be because someone passed away, and so their family members might be just getting rid of the music. You know, or someone is just purging their bookshelves. So, but I feel like I'm getting sort of a glimpse into this, what this person really liked. And it seems to be 20th century music. I think it's 20th century music. So Rogue, most of your sheet music was acquired when Flute Center was having a sale and you thought it sounded interesting. Yeah, that's how it goes, man. I just hoarded all this music when I believe it was UBC, University of British Columbia, when they were getting rid of random things from their music library. Because I know for a fact I did not buy any of this. I just like picked it up and left with it. So it was kind of like one of those like donation piles essentially. Okay, so let's try this. This is, and I'll write it here for you guys. So this is, we definitely need to do more of this. I think this might become a series in it of itself. So this is Vern Reynolds, and this is Sonata for Flute and Piano. Okay, so I'm just putting this up here so that if you guys want to buy the music yourself, then you will, you can copy and paste. So here, let me replace the pinned message There it goes. Perfect. Okay. So, quarter note at 88. Let's see how this goes. So, at 88. Okay. Yeah. I think it might not just be a part 2. I think it might be a multi-part episode. This might be just our go-to filler episode, you know, between reviews. So I know that I'm set for the next 2 weeks for reviews, but then we might have another filler after that. So anyway, let's try this. 2, 3, 4. You found a metronome app with a taco drum sound? That's so cute. I love that. Okay. Okay, here, let's try it. No, wrong. See? Intervals. Like, and no key. It's so interesting. This person really liked this kind of music. Interesting. Yeah. I think this is, you know how like animes have like, you know, the beach episode, the beach filler episode. So this is our beach filler episode. You know, every anime has to have it. So we're gonna have it now. It's just me reading music that I've hoarded. Main arc and then the fillers. Yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing here. Okay. Yes, the side quests in the games. It's a little cold out to go to the beach. It's okay. In our hearts, we are at the beach right now. With 20th century experimental music. Okay. Let's keep going. I want to do that again. but your but your heart is cold and frozen. You guys. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay. Let's keep going. So it looks like this does get pretty fast with, triplet sixteenths and 30 seconds. So we're in for a good time here. Okay. Okay. Like, if you're actually going to perform this, you need to absolutely memorize all of these triplet sixteenths. Okay. Yeah. Go. No. Oh! Back it up. Back it up. I did not carry over the flat. Okay. If I had more time, I would absolutely figure out what the heck is going on there in terms of like why the notes exist, where is he going, what is he exploring. But keep going. Oh, that's very like, as that same vibe of that, like there's no tonal center. Very reliant on, um, like in this case, he has sort of like, he's kind of going between, certain notes. Like he really likes jumping up registers and jumping down registers. So, like I feel that that's almost kind of the theme of this movement is this sort of like, kind of moving between registers, really exploring what that jump sounds like. Got a lot of and like, you know, et cetera, and then there's like fluff in the middle. Yeah. As a composer, sometimes you're like, okay, I have no clue what's going on, but it sounds okay. Guess I'll keep it as is. I love it. That's so human of you. Makes you think of the night before a huge serious event leading into the morning. It does have that very contemplative feel, doesn't it? Yeah. Like, I almost feel like this kind of swooping between registers kind of has that, you know, feeling to it. This whole first move is all like swooping into a different register and then sitting on the note. You know? It's super interesting. Okay. I do want to try a faster movement. So there is a scherzo right after this. So yeah, why not? We can do, yeah, let's do the scherzo and see how that goes. I am going to swab this out though first. Saturday, you want to play this? Well, there's, you can copy and paste and purchase your sheet music. If the Flute Center has it, guys, you guys do get 10% off your order using JAF, the code JAF. So, you know, and if they don't have it, you can see if they'll order it for you. Just saying. Okay. Okay. Yes. Just Flutes in the UK has a huge catalog too. Is this a whole piece or a book? This is a whole piece. And I just sight read the first movement, and I have no idea if I did it even remotely accurately. They do have it. Well, guys, you do get 10% off using my code JAF. The info is below in the video description. So yeah, whenever you go sheet music shopping at Flute Center, use my little code, you get 10% off. All right? It's not that expensive for a sonata. Is it now? I'm so curious. So Flute Center. I'm going to look this up too. So this is the Vern Reynolds. Let's look it up. Yep, they have it. Yeah, it's really, that's very decent price. $18.16, very decent price. And then you guys get 10% off. So, you know, get a batch of music, get 10% off your whole order. Yeah. So following there, so you think 20% is what's written and 80% is how you interpret the intention. I completely agree. Again, as I said for the piston, if if I were to actually study this, what I would do is like a very intensive analysis where I'm analyzing. If you want to see me do really intensive analysis, my early eBear live streams will have it, the ones over on Twitch. And my, I do have this on YouTube. This was a while back now. It was like a couple years back now. I did a memorize a Kargalert Caprice on stream in front of you guys. So I did that as a series. And what I had to do in the beginning was just do a very intensive like theoretical analysis of the whole etude. So like what I do is I'm just like I just start with labeling you know, intervals and stuff like that. And then after I've labeled the intervals, I can, you know, find patterns. You know, once you find the pattern, you start to get a feel of what the composer was actually going for. So you are reverse engineering the entire piece. And I find that whenever you do reverse engineer a piece, you just play it with a lot more conviction because it's almost as if you're writing it. And yeah, it comes off with a lot more confidence, you know? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so true. Like, how many forms of Vivaldi exist? And they all carry a unique spin, which makes it still a banger all these years later. I know. And for those of you guys who don't know, one of the Honkai Star Rail characters has their trailer music actually straight up based on, I think it's the summer season from the Vivaldi Four Seasons. And it's fantastic. They start with it because the character actually plays the violin, and then it goes from the like that storm section, and then it goes into like a crazy like rock spin-off, and it is delightful. It is delightful. Yeah. So there are many people who ignore what the composer says. You think it's better to avoid going that far with interpretation. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It is just music, okay? Which, like, if you go crazy off the beaten path, nothing's going to happen to you. Except maybe if you get famous enough, people will, like, throw metaphorical stones at you. Okay, like, you'll get critics writing awful articles on you and stuff like that, and, you know, bad publicity, right? So, like, that's really the extent of what's going to happen to you if you, like, go really far off the beaten path. For me, I just, personally, I feel that I would glean the most personal joy from figuring out what the composer was going for. Right? Like what vibe were they going for? What, like when they heard this in their head, you know, like what were they hearing? Like what was the flow that they were hearing? What was, you know, cause all of the stuff that's written down was in their head, you know, and like they made it up. Like it's like improv in their head. So like for me, that's the part I personally find interesting. So I think for me, I actually derive less joy from just inserting myself into the music and just kind of taking the driver's seat, you know? Like, yeah. Like, I derive less joy from that. In fact, it kind of makes me feel like it feels very forced. Like when I insert myself into music and like I play it the way I think it should and I disregard what the composer says, the resulting music sounds very forced to me. Maybe I just don't do that well. You know, like that could be a thing, right? But yeah, so I personally derive more joy from seeing what the composer may have been thinking of. And I feel like that's in line with the type of flutist I am. I'm a very chameleon-like flutist. I like kind of bending myself to sound like something else, someone else, you know, bending myself to a certain style, etc. I find that part fun, you know? So, like, I think it kind of goes in line with my identity as a musician. Do I think of the scale degrees when I'm sight reading? No, especially, good question though. Gangus, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. That's a good question. In this particular situation, I'm not. And it is because I think you might have just dropped in, but this particular piece and the piece that I just sight read before this, they both do not have any tonal center. So they are what I would describe as closer to 12 tone theory, which is just very chromatic, and there is no tonal center. And so a lot of this type of music is based on like interval sequence, sequences of intervals that serve as a motif. There might be rhythmic motifs. There might be just like a certain shape that they're exploring. They might be exploring a certain melodic shape, that type of thing. So in this case, there is actually no point in trying to think of scale degrees, because that actually messes you up, because there is no key. There is no key signature, and there is no tonal center either to these pieces. So if I am playing a piece of music that has a tonal center, is kind of diatonic, it does all the quote normal things, you could say I kind of think of it in scale degrees. I more think of the whole scale as a unit. So I'm not thinking of each note individually, but I'm thinking of a whole scale as one unit. Yeah. Welcome, this being your first live. You're playing a Trevor James alto on your couch while you're watching this. Oh, I love Trevor James alto flutes. Oh, I love them so much. If I played an alto flute more, I probably would buy one. I fell in love with the copper alloy one, the one with the mother of pearl keys. Oh my god, I fell in love with that, but I can't justify owning one, because I really don't play it that much. Like, I'm not in like a flute choir or anything, Oh my god, look at all of our TJ alto buddies, family in here. Oh, this is so nice. Trevor James is known for their auxiliary flutes. They're made so well. Trevor James, Dijau, those two are really very well known for their auxiliary flutes. Like they're good stuff. So, let's see. Henry's saying, you think there's a difference in specificity of notation depending on the era? Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. It gets more and more precise. The further along in history that we go, because it really just started out as scribbles over the lyrics in hymns, So, and Omar has the Trevor James copper alloy. I do too. It's my backup flute. This is the one I could justify. So I got one too, and I freaking love it. It makes my days when I have to play on my backup, when I send my flute in for a COA, makes my days playing on a backup very, very enjoyable. Very enjoyable. Yes. I love it. So Saturday, your main flute is Sankyo. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. I love it. F-sharp foot joints? Do they exist? Because I have seen the ones that go down to like G, I think, low G, like a G foot joint. Yeah. Lisa, you'd love a Trevor James alto. They're beauties. They are absolute beauties. Oh, low B on flute becomes F sharp. That's true. On an alto, right? Yeah. Okay. I understand what you mean now. I've heard that Sankyo has one super wild one that goes down to low G, though. Am I just making this up? I feel like that was a thing. Okay. Oh, the G is Ihara. Oh, so I'm only half crazy is what we're saying. So the G foot joint does exist, but it's by Ihara. Okay, got it. Hey, you switched to low C foot. Can't do the weight anymore. Me too. Me too. Oh man. Sangyo made a 5K gold flute before. I feel like I heard about this. I feel like I heard of this. And yeah. Oh, gorgeous. That might, oh, and it just gives like a nice kind of like rounder kind of mellow, slightly mellower sound, right? Ugh. That low note might as well play a tuba. Oh, you guys. Okay. I want to try a bit of this scherzo. I don't know if I'm going to play through the whole thing, but I do want to try something a little faster by this composer. So let's see. So we're going at 100 for a dotted half, which is the whole bar. Oh, so this is fast. Okay, got it. Gosh. Gosh. Oh, that is like a weird rhythm to get into my head. Okay, is it just my imagination, or is there some like superimposing of like 1 meter over another? Let's try it. Like hemiola-ish business going on. We're trying that one more time. Okay. So here's my thinking, is that he's set up the beginning of the scherzo so that you can't actually really feel what the meter is, because the meter is in 1. So it's da 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 da. But it, when you play it, it doesn't have that like waltzy circular feel, because he's done a lot of kind of like rhythmic bits that go over the bar line. So I wonder if this is exploring almost like a destabilization of the meter. So we'll play it one more time with that in mind. So again, like intentionality. Wrong note. Okay. It's like hard to follow, right? Like what the meter is. another example of like something that I very much expect from this kind of like no tonal center type of music. So what they have here, these two triplets that I just played, are E, G sharp, C sharp, which is a C sharp minor triad, and then a in first inversion, and then a D, G, B flat, which is G minor second inversion triad. Now, I know some of you guys are listening to this and be like, Joanna, I have no idea what you're talking about. But for those of you who are in music school and watching this, and music school and beyond and watching this, or, you know, let's say you've taken the theory classes and stuff for, you know, whatever extracurricular program you're attending. Really what it is that what we're working with here is very interesting. We're going from C sharp minor triad to a G minor triad. And that is very weird. It sounds very weird because the root of C sharp to G natural is a tritone. So that's why it sounds so grating and it's so like unexpected. Yeah, exactly. It's tritone root motion, which is, I love that you guys caught on. Yeah, you guys caught on. It has a very destabilizing, grating sound. And so what I'm hearing from sight reading this is a destabilization in the meter and destabilization and grating sound in the melodies too. So like it's almost kind of like exploring kind of this but at the same time there's this kind of like very like flowy part right before the right. It has this kind of like flowiness, so it's almost kind of like juxtaposing like flowy momentum with really grating like disjointed interval movement, you know? Yeah, this is very interesting. Like theoretically, this piece is very interesting. I don't know about listening to it, if I'm being completely honest, but like just from the perspective of someone messing around with it, it's like, oh, that's interesting, you know? Anyway, we're going to back it up a bit and then keep trying. That is so hard to read because the certain chords that are used, there are actual chords in here, but the chords that are used are so normally unrelated from each other that my brain is like what? So if I were to study this, what I'd do is I'd go in and I would label every single triad that I'm seeing. Because what this does is that it gives me essentially shorthand to read. So then I don't have to read every single note. But I definitely feel like there's a bit of like a juxtaposition of like flowy sound with lots of like momentum, like forward momentum, but like very disjointed notes and chords, you know? Yeah. Hoy. Okay, we keep going. that is an F minor chord going to a G flat major chord. Oh, that is weird. Okay. The way that I would interpret that is that you're going from a darker tone color palette with the F minor and then shoving the listener into a brighter tone color palette with the major chord that comes right after. Not only is this major chord brighter, but it's sort of like a mellow bright because it's G flat instead of F sharp. So now if I play it with that intentionality, then you can hear it. You can hear I'm going from a dark to a brighter color. It's really fast. Da 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 da. Right? The first three notes is minor, and then the second three notes are major chord. You know, so that's sort of an example of how I would play this with intentionality. Okay, keep going. Da, 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 da. No. So we have minor chord, minor chord, minor chord. Yeah, minor, what is it? Minor 7, right? Minor 7, minor 7, minor major 7, minor 7, minor 7. So there's a major 7th in there. That's what threw me off. So it's dark, dark, weirdly bright, dark, 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 bright. Okay. Yeah, you'd have to memorize that. This is very like Kargaler-esque, you know? Like I have to read it as if I'm reading a Kargaler caprice. Ugh. Okay. So again, this time we're ascending and we're going major triad, minor triad up to the high C. So is this kind of like flip-flop between dark sound and bright sound? Yeah. So so the effect that you get is that it's neither dark nor bright. Like this is also messing. So not only are we starting the movement with kind of like giving a very unstable feel to the meter. So the meter is wonky. There's no tonal center. Plus, we are kind of like making the listener confused as to whether this is bright or dark. It's like both mixed together. And because they're mixed together in such quick succession, it's like your ear can't keep up with what you're listening to. A fever dream by a drunk person is a great way of putting it, right? Because you get the like, you know, you can't really feel the meter because it's in one. And there's a lot of syncopated stuff, and there's a lot of like kind of like certain rhythms are going over the bar line. So it really disrupts your feeling of where the big beat is. And then, yeah, and then you can't even tell if it sounds dark or bright because all of these minor and major triads are just shoved right next to each other in quick succession. So again, theoretically, a very interesting piece to study because like it really does sort of stretch your mind. But yeah, definitely feels like Kargaler to me. This very much feels like Kargaler. Okay, we keep going. Okay, so still like this part still makes the main kind of beat unclear. But I almost feel like this is a little bit of a reprieve from sort of the fast like mixing and matching of chords. It's a little bit of a reprieve, but it still has no tonal center. So it still kind of feels like you're wandering around a little. But anyway, we keep going. Yeah. There's a lot of kind of like different triads grouped together, more so to highlight the interval between the roots of the chords. So the interval between the roots of, or the lower note of these chords are minor thirds. So a lot of times with this type of music, you're going to see a lot of patterns with kind of like the lowest note or something like that. So it'll just be like a chain of minor thirds, or like a chain of fourths, or a chain of fifths, or something like that. It's a chain of a specific interval. And then they will build actually like the chords above it, of whether or not the composer wants it to be minor for a darker sound or major for a brighter sound. But because they're chaining the lowest note as like, you know, a set interval, that's why the chords that happen as a result from them feel very random to us, because we're schooled in kind of like all the rules of harmonic progression, right? You know, like one chord goes to some form of like a subdominant chord, and then to a dominant chord, and then some fancy thing if you want to, and then it resolved back to the root chord, the 1, right? So 1 4 5 1, or 1 2 4 5 1, or 1 6 1 6 4 5 1, you know, sometimes 7 5 1, sometimes something like that, you know, like we are you know, just kind of like we've been brought up in this kind of sound and theory, and then so once you suddenly take out the tonal center, you no longer have a 1 chord, right? So it's like, then what are you going to kind of create as the thing that kind of keeps the music going? A lot of times I find that these composers like to chain a certain interval. So they like to like go up in thirds, you know, chromatically, or they're going up in like fourths chromatically or something like that. And then they just build the chord on top of it, on top of each of those notes. So then you get something like this. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. But yeah, definitely feels random to us when we play it. Okay. Wrong rhythm. Okay. Okay. My brain keeps wanting to take a break, but there ain't no break. Okay. So it's superimposing a different meter on top of the existing meter. Okay, all right, I see you. Okay. No. Okay. And that's the end of movement 2. All right. Later's fallen leader. Thank you so much for dropping by. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, K Kim. I appreciate it. Yeah. Okay. This is a challenge because there is no tonal center. Like, my brain, I had to like really convince my brain to stop looking for a tonal center and to really just look for patterns, look for individual chords. And then once I kind of started to click into that, then it started to kind of have a little bit more intentionality. I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but I certainly felt it, that there was a little bit more intentionality. Oh, minor chords moving in minor thirds is a movie scoring trick. Well, and that is not surprising because like movie scoring really only started to develop in the 20th century. Right? So that type of composition is absolutely happening concurrently with this kind of stuff. You kind of want to try it now. Use my code JAF for 10% off your purchase. It's really interesting. Like, if you want a challenge in not having a tonal center, this is a really good one. This one and the piston are really good for it. Like, to force you to not have a tonal center at all. You know, and if you can play it with that kind of intentionality, I think it really does empower you as a musician. You know, kind of forces you to break out of the box. Yeah. I think this person either loved this music or hated this music. Maybe loved it because maybe this person maybe unfortunately passed away, and so all of this music is donated. Or this person hated this music and got rid of all of the music in this era. I don't know. But I found it very interesting that we first started with the Gobert Sonata number 3, which I felt was a very spicy twist to romantic music. I think Gobert, though. What year is this? What year? What year are we talking about? 1957? So this is actually all, like, no wonder it's so spicy. Let me look on the IMSLP. No, 1933. That's the same. Is that the same as the Verne? What is this? What year is this? Wait, what year? What year are we talking about? It has the copyright, but not the year. Details. It just says 20th century. You would think that they would include the year in here. I do not see a year. Do you guys see a year? I'm gonna look it up. Because, let's see. Verne Reynolds Sonata for flute and piano. Is there somewhere online that says when it was written? Okay, we're just gonna put this off to the side now. Just so I can see this. Can you guys find it? What year it was? What year it was composed? Well, he lived between 1926 and 2011. So, flute composer. Let's see. It seems I cannot find. Yeah, he taught at Eastman. Yeah, I'm seeing that right now. I cannot actually find what year the sonata was written in. This is so funny. Yeah. Yeah, I don't actually see what year. So late 20th century, maybe? Cause there is a date that is penciled here. The date is penciled September 1st, 1965. Like, that's why this book has this kind of like, it has old book smell. So I think we can safely say before 1965. So now, Nicholas, did you found? So it was actually published in 1965? Wow, this person bought it right when it came out then. Wow. So you found the publishing date on Amazon of all places? Interesting. No, not old people smell, old book smell. Nicholas. So on Amazon, it states it. Yes, January. Well, no. Okay. Is it truly January 1st, or is it that they had to write in a random exact date? But 1965. This person put in, it either is September 1st or it's January 1st. Now, I picked this up in Canada. So I would not be surprised if this actually means January 9th. This might actually be January 9th. In which case, yeah. I guess they bought it right when it came out. Maybe that's why they didn't put the publishing year in this, because it was so new at the time. WorldCat also listed at 1965. Holy cow. This person, I think, bought it right when it came out. Interesting. Wow. This person really liked their very, very contemporary new music. Like, they're just like me, for real, for real. Like me and my like Genshin music and stuff like that, you know? Oh, that's so cool. like, I feel like I'm accidentally discovering this person's, like, you know, this person's love of, you know, like, new music. Like, to us, this is 20th century, okay? But to this person, this was their new music. Yeah, I think they got it right when it was published. Exactly. It's like us getting Gary Shocker music. Exactly. That's so cool. I'm so glad I did this with you guys. I'm so tickled. This is so cool. Mackenzie, yes, I was looking for the publication date. Mackenzie is seeing February 1963 from Eastman. Interesting. Speaking of ChatGPT, I asked ChatGPT to give me a brief history of the flute. And ChatGPT, because ChatGPT is a language learning AI, right? So it just takes it's just very good at sounding good, you know, like it doesn't actually know what it knows, you know. So but it's good at sounding like it knows what it knows because it's a language learning AI. So I asked it to tell me about the flute and flute history, and it told me that the current flute is conical. So, you know, I decided to have a little fun with it. And you can't actually teach it anything. Like, you can't actually teach it actual facts. Like, it doesn't know facts. It knows how to talk. That's all it knows how to do. So I was like, no, the current flute is cylindrical. And the, like, piccolos and the old flutes were conical. And it was like, oh, I'm sorry. Let me correct that, blah, blah, blah. Which, like, it just knows how to talk. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't actually know anything. But I found that to be hilarious, that ChatGPT, in accordance to what it has learned on the internet about the flute, there is enough material on the internet about the old flute being conical that ChatGPT thinks that the current flute is conical. Yeah, just in the head joint. That's true. That's true. But it's like a know-it-all kid on the internet. Yeah. So at one point everyone was making videos about ChatGPT, you know, when it was like viral, but I didn't have a lot of energy at that time to make a video about this, but I did actually mess around with it when ChatGPT first came out. And I messed with what it would know about flute, you know, and yeah, it said that the instrument was conical. You asked ChatGPT to teach you about Coltrane changes, and it messes up on music theory really bad. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there is it Copilot? Copilot, I believe, is really good with coding. But yeah, I feel like the information that is out there about, you know, anything pretty much like classical music related, like history or theory or otherwise, I feel like there's not as much on the internet as things like coding and stuff like that. And so I think it's very easy for ChatGPT to get confused, you know? Yeah. So, yeah, guys, be very careful with ChatGPT and AI. Like, really understand that, especially with ChatGPT, it's in the name, chat. Okay. So it knows how to talk. That's pretty much it. It's only scouring the internet for how to talk, you know, not actual facts. It will spit things out, making it sound like it knows things, but it doesn't actually know anything. And yeah, I think I just want to make that very clear to you guys. So yeah. Yeah. If you challenge it, says, oh yes, you're correct, which is exactly what I did to it. And I was like, But it's not going to actually learn it. It doesn't learn facts, you know. ChatGPT is a AI chatting, chat bot, I guess you could call it, but it's not really a bot. It is an AI. It's AI, and it's a, as I said, it's a language learning AI, and that's all it is. Yeah. Basically know it all. Yeah, you're right, but I don't believe you. Yeah. That's certainly what it feels like when you're talking to chat GPT. Generative AI. There we go. That's what it is. So yeah, be very careful with it. It's thank you, by the way, Victor. Don't make the mistake of thinking that chat GPT is will spit out facts. It will make it sound like it's spitting out facts. That's the key thing there. But it's very funny to mess around with. Anyway, I took a look at the time. I better go now. That was really fun. We will continue using this as our filler material because I kind of want to see what else this person really likes. I'm so... like, no wonder I haven't heard of some of these because I think this person legit was buying things as they came out, you know? There are some more like other things in here that I think maybe came from a different library or from UBC library. But yeah, all the things that are stamped from the library of this person, I kind of want to keep their, you know, their privacy. I'm noticing they really all have a similar vibe, which is so interesting. I did not see that coming. Okay, so I love y'all so very much. Please stay happy, healthy, and safe. Thank you so much for joining in the fun today. It was super fun just chatting with you guys, being a nerd, you know, kind of like, I didn't expect to be as big of a nerd as I was today, but that was so fun and very fulfilling. So thank you very much. The flutes for next week will come tomorrow, so I will have my hands on them very soon, and we will have a flute review next week. I'm just not sure exactly which day. So look out for that on Monday. I will figure out which day I want to do the stream on Monday. And yeah. We're going to be in for a good time next time. All right. Are they secret special surprise flutes? Sort of. Sort of, not really. We kind of talked about it in the last stream, so you guys can guess what's coming up. All right. Love you all so very much. Please stay happy, healthy, and safe. Take care of yourselves because there is no music without the musician. All right? Take care, guys. Laters. Bye.